The Ancient Code 2, The Moorish Mantle and the Law of the Lion, a treatise on sovereign alchemy and the African genetic memory. The prologue, The Return to the Throne. The fire has not gone out. It has become a furnace. In our first journey, we remembered the I am, the primordial spark of consciousness that exists before thought, before struggle, and before identity. We found the blueprints in the stars and the soil. But a king without a kingdom is a wanderer, and a priest without an altar is a silent voice. Today, we step into the era of the Moorish Mantle. We go back to a time when our ancestors did not just survive, they governed. They mapped the heavens from the cliffs of Bandiagara, mastered the chemistry of the earth in the laboratories of Timbuktu, and held the keys to the world's hidden wealth through the trans-Saharan trade routes. The Moor is not a character in a European history book. The Moor is a custodian of the light. When the world sat in the intellectual winter of the Dark Ages, it was the African mind that preserved the mathematics of the Greeks, the medicine of the East, and the spirituality of the Nile. The proverb says, "The lion does not turn around when a small dog barks." In this 21st century, the world is full of barking dogs, digital distractions, predatory debts, and a noise machine that wants your attention but hates your soul. To build your empire today, you must return to the Moorish science of the self. This is the synthesis of the Dogon stellar wisdom and the Khametic moral law. Success is not something you chase, it is something you command. Because of who you have become, we are moving beyond hustle culture, which is a survivalist vibration born of lack. We are moving into sovereignty, an initiatory vibration born of abundance. We are looking at the Moorish kingdom within. Pillar I, the seven veils, the alchemy of the Nafs. Before the Moors crossed the pillars of Hercules into Europe, they mastered the seven veils of the mind. In the high courts of the Almoravids and Almohads, psychology was not a clinical study, it was internal engineering. They called it the alchemy of the Nafs, the refinement of the lower self into the golden intellect. The proverb says, "He who overcomes himself is mightier than he who overcomes a city." Most people today are slaves to their own reactions. They are triggered by a post, saddened by a comment, and defeated by a temporary setback. This is the veil of the lower self. The Moorish master knows that the world is a mirror. If you want to change the reflection, you must change the face looking into the glass. The hidden spirituality that you won't find in modern business. Books is the power of neutrality. In the Moorish courts, the advisors, the viziers, were taught to remain unmoved. When you remain neutral, you preserve your baraka, your blessing, and your internal voltage. Every time you get angry at a trivial thing, you are giving away your gold to a beggar. This is the African philosophy of coolness, Itutu. The Yoruba sages taught that the king must possess a cool heart. If the king is hot-headed, the kingdom burns. To build an empire, you must cultivate a silence that is louder than words. You must learn to observe your thoughts without becoming them. This is the vigilance of the heart. When you master your internal state, you become the fixed point in a spinning world. People will gravitate toward you because you possess what they lack, certainty. The Moors wore silks and gold not just for vanity, but as a physical anchor for their internal state. They understood that the outer garment must match the inner frequency. Your mantle is your presence. Do you walk into a room as a guest or as the owner? Wealth is a spirit that only sits on a throne that is kept clean. Pillar 2, the geometry of the spirit, the mathematics of the Beehive. The Moors brought algebra and advanced geometry to the world, but they didn't see numbers as just math, they saw them as the language of the Creator. They understood that the universe is built on proportion. The proverb says, "The earth is a beehive, we all enter by the same door, but we live in different cells." In the 21st century, we are told to work hard. This is a colonial imposition of labor. The Moors taught rhythm. They built the Alhambra and the Great Mosque of Jen using the golden ratio, 1:618. They understood that if you align your life with the natural ratios of the universe, the Fibonacci sequences found in the sunflower and the galaxy, the universe will sustain you with minimal effort. This is the efficiency of the sage. The spiritual tithe. Are you giving 10% of your day to silent contemplation? The communal tithe. Are you giving 10% of your energy to the Elevation of your village? In the Moorish kingdom, wealth was a flow zakat, not a hoard. They knew that a stagnant pond breeds disease, but a flowing river brings life. This aligns with the Bantu philosophy of Ubuntu. I am because we are. If you want your bank account to grow, you must ensure your utility to the collective is growing. Look at the intricate tile work of the Moorish palaces. Each tile is small, but together they form a masterpiece. This is the ancient version of atomic habits. You don't build a great life, you build great minutes. And they stack until they reach the heavens. Pillar 3. The lion's shadow, strategy, and the Namo. There is a spirituality in strategy that is often ignored. We think spirituality is only about love and light. But the Moors knew that the lion must also have claws. The proverb says, "A bridge is only as strong as its foundation, and a king is only as strong as his secrets." In the 21st century, we are taught to overshare. We put our goals on social media. We tell everyone our plans before they are even born. This is a leak in your spiritual pipe. In the Moorish tradition, an idea is like a seed. It must stay in the dark soil of the womb to grow. If you dig it up to show everyone, it dies. This is the law of the hidden sun. To be spiritually strategic means to move in silence. This is the Namo of the Dogon, the power of the word. If you speak your word too early, you dissipate its power. When you tell the world your plans, you invite the collective doubt and envy of those who aren't moving. The Moorish kingdom was built on discretion. Master your tongue. Speak only when your words are more beautiful than silence. When you work in secret, you build a pressure that eventually explodes into reality. This is the alchemical furnace. The sun is most powerful when it is directly overhead, but it is most mysterious when it is behind the clouds. You must guard the gates of your mind with the same ferocity that a Moorish guard held the gates of Cordoba or the libraries of Timbuktu. Pillar 4. The alchemy of the blood, genetic memory, and ancestral recall. There is a spirituality hidden in your DNA that no textbook can teach you. The Moors believed in ancestral recall. They believed that the wisdom of our fathers and mothers is not gone. It is dormant in our blood. The proverb says, "The hunter who traces the tracks of the past will find the elephant of the future." In the 21st century, we feel lost because we have been disconnected from our lineage. We think we are starting from scratch, but you are the result of thousands of years of survival. You have the entrepreneurial spirit of the Timbuktu merchants. In your veins, you have the scientific precision of the Moorish astronomers. In your brain, to access this hidden wealth, you must practice veneration. This isn't just remembering the past, it is activating it. When you sit in silence and ask your ancestors for guidance, you are plugging into a supercomputer of experience. This is the great library of the Akasha. Master your blood. Cleanse your temple. Eat from the earth. Fasting is not just for health. It is to clear the communication line so you can hear the whispers of the ancient ones. Your intuition is actually your ancestral memory speaking to you. When you have a gut feeling about a business deal, that is 1,000 years of experience telling you which way to turn. You are never alone. You are backed by a lineage of sovereigns. Pillar V. The law of the lion, the sovereign will, and ASE. Finally, we look at the Moorish will. In the 21st century, people are fragile. They quit when it gets hard. They wait for permission. But a Moorish sovereign does not ask for permission, he determines. The proverb says, "The sun does not ask the moon for permission to shine." The hidden spirituality of the Moorish kingdom is the absolute will. This is the force that turns a thought into a stone building. We call it ASE, the power to make it so. When a king speaks, it is a decree. In your life, when you make a decision, is it a wish or is it a decree? Most people try to save money. They try to start a business. But the master decrees it. Once the decree is made, the body and the mind have no choice but to follow. This is the sacred contract. If you break your word to yourself, you destroy your own sovereignty. If you say you will wake up at 4:30 a.m. and you sleep until 8 a.m., you have just told your subconscious mind that your king is a liar. And a kingdom cannot stand under a lying king. To reach the 21st century heights, you must become impeccable with your word. Your yes must be gold, and your no must be iron. Pillar 6. The currency of utility, the economic bridge. The Moors were not just spiritualists, they were global economists. They understood that wealth is not found in the coin, but in the utility the coin represents. Gold is a shadow. You cannot chase a shadow. You must move the object that casts it. The object is your excellence. In the African context, wealth was always tied to function. The blacksmith, the weaver, the astronomer, they were wealthy because they were essential. If you want to build an empire in the digital age, you must ask, what problem do I solve for the divine plan? Wealth is a flow zakat. If you hoard it, it rots. If you circulate it through the creation of value, it multiplies. You must become a solution provider. The Moors didn't just conquer with the sword, they conquered with superior systems. Your business is your irrigation system for the community. The conclusion: wearing the mantle. The fire has burned down to the deepest coals. We have traveled from the I am to the I govern. You are no longer just a student of success. You are an architect of the Moorish Mantle. The 21st century is a wilderness, but for the one who knows the ancient code, the wilderness is full of opportunity. You have the alchemy to turn your obstacles into stepping stones. You have the geometry to align your habits with the stars. And you have the blood of the lion flowing through your heart. Remember, silence is your fortress. Move in secret until the work is done. Rhythm is your power. Small, sacred habits build the palace. Wool is your scepter. When you decree a thing, let it be law. Utility is your wealth. Be the solution the world cannot ignore. The Moorish kingdom did not fall. It simply went internal. It is waiting for you to reclaim it. It is waiting for you to stop acting like a subject and start acting like a sovereign. As the ancient Moorish proverb says, knowledge is a treasure, but practice is the key to it. The game is over. The kingdom is here. Take your seat on the throne of your own life. The mantle is yours. Go forth and rule.